Here's a psychology fact you're not ready for. You are far more vulnerable to cult manipulation than you think. If you believe cult members are stupid, weak, or easily brainwashed, this harsh psychology fact is going to hurt. Because cults don't recruit idiots. They recruit normal people whose brains are working exactly as designed. The same psychological systems that help you trust, bond, love, and belong are the same systems cult leaders exploit to take control of your identity. And if you think this only happens in isolated compounds or extreme religions, you're already missing the point. Because these tactics don't just exist in cults. They show up in relationships, workplaces, online movements, and self-improvement communities, slowly reshaping how people think without them ever realizing it. Psychologists call this coercive persuasion. And once you understand it, you'll start noticing it everywhere. Let me show you how this actually works. Your brain has a survival mechanism called social pain. When you feel excluded or isolated, your brain literally processes it the same way as physical pain. This isn't a metaphor. fMRI studies show the same neural regions light up. So when you're going through a transition, maybe you just moved cities, lost a relationship, or feel disconnected from your family, your brain is in social starvation mode. And that's exactly when you're most vulnerable. Because cult leaders don't target the weak. They target the disconnected. They offer you instant belonging, instant purpose, instant identity. And your brain, it floods you with oxytocin and dopamine, the same chemicals you get from falling in love. So ask yourself right now, when was the last time you felt truly isolated? What did you attach yourself to just to stop feeling alone? Here's the second mechanism, and this one's even more dangerous. It's called cognitive closure. Your brain hates uncertainty. It's metabolically expensive, creates anxiety. So when someone offers you a simple explanation for complex problems, the world is broken because of them, you're suffering because you haven't unlocked this secret. Everything makes sense once you understand our truth. Your brain experiences relief. This is why conspiracy theories spread. This is why extremist ideologies recruit. This is why MLM schemes hook people who are actually intelligent. Because it's not about intelligence, it's about cognitive load. When you're stressed, overwhelmed, or exhausted, your brain defaults to the simplest story available. Studies show that people under cognitive load are more susceptible to persuasion, not less. Stay with me because the next part reveals the manipulation tactic you've definitely fallen for. There's a psychological phenomenon called identity fusion. When your personal identity merges with a group identity, here's how it happens. Step 1, the group gives you a new language, special terms, inside jokes, concepts only awakened people understand. Step 2, they redefine your past. You weren't happy before. You were asleep. Your old friends didn't really know you. Step 3, they create a shared enemy. Critics aren't just wrong, they're dangerous. Doubt isn't wisdom, it's betrayal. And here's the trap. Once your identity is fused with the group, criticism of the group feels like an attack on you. This is why people defend obviously toxic relationships. This is why employees protect abusive bosses. This is why people can't leave belief systems even when the evidence is overwhelming. Because leaving doesn't just mean changing your mind, it means losing who you are. Think about it. Is there a group, belief, or person in your life right now where questioning them feels like questioning yourself? Now here's the psychological nail in the coffin. It's called the sunk cost fallacy. But in cult psychology, it's weaponized. Once you've invested time, money, or reputation into something, your brain will do anything to justify that investment. So cult tactics don't start extreme. They start small. First, you attend a free seminar. Then you buy a book. Then you recruit a friend. Then you defend the leader online. Then you cut off people who don't understand. Each step makes the next step easier. Not because you're getting brainwashed, but because your brain is trying to maintain consistency. This is called commitment and consistency bias. And it's one of the most powerful psychological forces Robert Cialdini ever documented. Here's the brutal truth. The more you've sacrificed for something, the harder it is to admit it was wrong. Because admitting it was wrong means admitting you were wrong. And your ego will protect itself at all costs. even if it means staying in something that's destroying you. So what do you do with this information? First, recognize the patterns. If someone isolates you from outside perspectives, red flag. If doubt is treated as betrayal, red flag. If you feel like you can't leave without losing everything, red flag. Second, protect your cognitive space. Don't make big decisions when you're lonely, stressed, or desperate for answers. That's when your psychological immune system is weakest. Third, stay intellectually humble. The moment you think you're too smart to be manipulated, that's when you're most vulnerable. Because cult psychology doesn't target the stupid. It targets the human. And unless you understand these mechanisms, you won't see them coming. Not from gurus, not from political movements, not from relationships, and not from the ideologies you're already inside. The cult isn't always out there. Sometimes it's already in your mind. Now ask yourself, what belief are you protecting right now? Not because it's true, but because you've invested too much to let it go. Comment below if this hit different. And if you want me to break down the specific tactics manipulators use, let me know, because this is just the beginning.